Andrew, am I on your podcast as well right now?
You are. We're live right now, and so we just had a big party tonight. Again, John Bird, Tony Gump, and myself hung out and carried the whole thing. I mean, I felt like, I'm going to be honest, when Kid Rock was on stage, I felt like I was at a Kid Rock concert.
Yeah.
Yep. I felt like I was the only person at a Kid Rock concert that knew the song.
Yeah. Oh, we were singing with you.
Everybody in the audience was like, yeah, there's a beat. Let's do this.
Yes.
It was pretty stiff.
The white man dance.
Yeah.
Kid Rock has never seen a crowd that stiff since he played at the high school gym.
What about the longevity of Trump's speech? I mean, we didn't know what kind of shape he was going to be in after going through what he went through this weekend. It was a little lengthy, but I didn't really know what to expect. I thought he still did phenomenal, but it kind of, some of us don't need to stay up until 11 o'clock on a Thursday night.
Yeah, it's too long. It was way too long. Because what happens is he had a magic I say magic. It wasn't fake. It was really sincere when he recounted the shooting, and then he paid tribute to Corey Compatore. I know we're all butchering his name. Comparator, I think is how he says his name. With his turnout gear on the stage. Nothing past that moment was going to be more emotional than that. Tears on the faces of the audience. But then he went into pretty much a standard Trump stump speech. It wasn't soaring rhetoric, but in some ways, I got to tell you, having seen many of these convention speeches, I've been to 3 of them and seen nominees speak to the rafters and try to raise the roof and get the crowd on their feet, and then it rings hollow once they finally either win or lose or get out there. Everything Trump said, I believe he believed, and it wasn't words put in his mouth by other people necessarily, because he says it so much. It was, if I wanted to give him credit, I'd say it was consistent, Andrew, but it was just too damn long.
Yeah, I agree. The first part of that, again, so genuine, and he made the comment, which I thought was crazy, and maybe he does stick to this. He said, this is going to be the first and the last time I recount this story. And he went into the details of being hit and the factors of that day. One of my favorite parts out of the whole thing was when he pulls up that chart and he starts talking about that chart saving his life. I was like, oh, that's good. I was pulling for him right there.
He had a couple of funny moments where he sort of freestyled and showed some character. Earlier in the evening when his little granddaughter crawled in his lap, that was the most human thing ever. And, Trump's real guarded about exposing his family. A lot of candidates will pose with their family, and he'll put the older kids out there, but he's very guarded with the grandkids and some of his extended family. But it does humanize him in a way after the vilification that he takes on a regular basis. And, the left's going to hate that, but they got their own problems, and it's going to be fun talking about them the next several days.
Yeah, well, here's the advantage of all of it is there were a lot of eyes, and we talked about this during the podcast. There was a lot of eyeballs on that speech that normally wouldn't be watching an RNC or even watching a Trump event, that after all of this caught their attention, and they're like, hey, I want to see what this guy says. It's the first time he's speaking since Saturday, and they got to see him on that human level, even if they just watched the first part of that speech or saw some of those images with the grandkids in his lap or his kids talking about him. They got to see him on a humanized level when in the past they'd probably only heard about Trump through a filter of the mainstream media or Hollywood or music artist or whatever, and had this awful image of him, and maybe watched tonight and said, hey, he's actually a good dude. He's a regular dude.
Well, maybe so, and I don't know who those people are. The country's so dug in right now, but the convention's over, and what we gotta hope is this isn't the peak, because I feel like we're at this peak Trump kind of phase where the Democrats could not be in a worse position, and Trump could not have survived more between the legal cases falling apart, the attempt on his life, and everything else that's happened. But 100 days is a long time. And it's about 106 days. Mm-hmm. If you're behind, it's not long enough. If you're ahead like Trump is, it seems like an eternity. And we get after that starting tomorrow.
Right. Well, I guess the only question left is how long is it going to be before you come back into this podcast studio?
You just let me know, my friend. I'm around.
You got an open invitation, Cole.
Always welcome.
All right.
Well, I got some information for you. I know y'all probably don't like to follow the markets, the sports betting markets, but right now, Biden's percentage of dropping out Sunday is at 90% right now.
No.
$17 million has been bet he's dropping out Sunday.
I believe
He's
it.
out. He's out. And the bigger part of that story, and again, Newsmax broke it, but the bigger part of that story is he's going to because it matters who he endorses, because he has to release those delegates, and he's going to endorse an open convention floor fight and not support Kamala. And that's just, like I said earlier on the show, to reuse a line, Kamala really got screwed by that, but that's how she got into politics in the beginning.
Yeah.
So it's really not anything new for her.
Well, that's true. She's used to it. So it's going to be fascinating. I mean, Democrat politics aren't necessarily exciting ever. Everybody's just on the same page. They're all working together, and they have their mission, and they usually accomplish it. To see the Democrat Party in the state of chaos they are in today has actually been kind of fun.
Yeah, it's. I'm just trying to make words right now. I'm so tired. Let's talk to. We'll get a couple calls. I said we would take some calls, so let's see if we can weave those in here. Is it Lewis on a cell phone? Lewis, what's up?
Hello.
Hey, go ahead, Lewis.
Yes, I was just wondering why you seem to be questioning some of Trump's motivations, and I don't know. You seem like you're kind of skeptical about of things that he said.
That's not what I said at all. If you're paying attention, all I said was the speech was too long. It was a good speech. It was just too long.
I'm sorry.
Lewis fell asleep. Lewis, the speech was just too long. Content was fine. It was very long. The good moments got buried in the length of it, and if there's any criticism, he should have wrapped it up a little sooner and not been so rambling.
Layla, listen. I try to just stay quiet that whole time, but you know what happens when you take phone calls this late. You know.
People are hammered. I get it. Lewis fell asleep, and I don't blame him. And I'm actually saluting him right now. I wish I was. Boomer, what the hell? What do you want, Boomer?
Hey, man, I just want to say you had great coverage over 99.5. Leland, thanks for sticking it out over there. And David Sears, you've been doing a great job. Andrew, Tony, John Bird, y'all did a great
Oh, thank you, Boomer.
Thanks, Cuzzy.
Y'all have been great. And I just want to say that I love Trump. I love Hey Down Nation. I love the Leland Live Show. And I just want to say that y'all have done a great job, and I appreciate y'all staying up this late. And I'm going to cut it short so all y'all can go to bed. Love y'all. God bless. And God bless the USA.
Love you a long time.
Boomer. There you go. Right on. There you go, buddy.
What's funny is when we got to the end of the speech, Boomer immediately starts spamming our chat, talking about, you need to call the station, call into Leland. I was like, Boomer, we got it. We're headed that way.
Yeah, we all work together. We know each other. It's funny how that works out. Well, what else would you add, Andrew? Tony, is Tony in here?
Yeah.
Tony,
Yeah, I'm right here.
Bird, all y'all. Let's just do our thing.
I was impressed with the stamina. I know the speech went really long, but there's no way Biden, would ever go that long or have that much information packed in. So overall, I think he was trying to unite. I was impressed with a lot of points he made when he walked over and hugged the firefighter uniform. Just a lot of personal touches he made in there, and I think he was real. I think he really brought a lot to the table, and I think getting shot in the ear had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, the tone was the bigger thing, and it, he revved it up and became himself toward the end. But he started off with a tone that we thought was going to be more reconciliatory, but then at the end he got back into his stump stuff, and I think he has to be critical of it. There were some reports that he wasn't even going to mention Biden or be that negative toward what they've done, but he has to show contrast, and it's just part of all campaigns. So I think he had to get into some of that too. But you're right. Biden can't read a restaurant menu for that long. I mean,
Yeah.
And it's what we got to do is discipline ourselves to not be so focused on him because he's done. I mean, he's done. He's not the candidate. The side by side between him and Trump is not a thing anymore. We got to figure out who they're going to try to run.
I'm afraid they're going to put an Obama on the ticket. That's my personal take.
Michelle Obama.
Yeah, everybody's worried about Big Mike.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. Big Mike has the balls to do this, but I'm not sure wants to really stick it out there and have everything.
Yeah, don't stick it out there, Big Mike.
Meat and potatoes.
What about you, John Bird? What was your thoughts?
My whole thing, Leland, I've been waiting for this like a Christmas morning as a kid. Because, when you're an adult, your Christmas mornings, they're just not the same as when you were a kid. So I've set a standard of 1972 as being the best Christmas morning I ever had. And halfway through this, it had already surpassed my 1972. My second one was 1977. Add those two together, and tonight surpass them.
Okay, I like the comparison because I believe also, John Bird, it was somewhere in the mid to early 70s that we got a go-kart for Christmas.
Yes.
And me and my brothers and sisters wanted a go-kart. But then my bitch-ass sister wrecked it in the first 10 minutes.
Oh, no.
So I'm just warning y'all, it might be the best Christmas ever, but don't let your sister drive your go-kart.
Those are wise words right there.
Yep.
Y'all know what I did for Christmas in
Words to live by.
72? Anybody want to guess?
You weren't born, we know.
Okay. I wasn't here. But it sounds phenomenal. I mean, it sounds like I would have enjoyed it if I was here.
Christmas morning in the
It's
70s.
the youngins, John Bird, these kids today.
They don't get it.
Yeah, they don't.
They
get
never
it.
got an Evil Knievel stunt cycle.
No, hell, they don't even know what we're talking about. Patrick is on a cell phone. Let's get another call in here. What's up, Patrick?
Hey, man, does John Bird not just look beautiful as he can be?
He's a sexy man. I mean, I'm not
JJ.
What the hell?
He's got that ear patch on and everything.
How did this turn into a gay talk show?
Whoa, now, easy.
It's nobody's show, so I guess those kind of things are going to happen.
I had a question. Now, I really thought Trump was going to stay a little bit more humble than what he did. But he got back up, and he was what everybody has voted for.
Yeah, I think he's still – the man's nearly 80 years old, and he's just going to be himself. And they can try to coach him to tone it down, and he did for a while, but he's going to turn right back into Trump. Trump is Trump, man. So, yeah, I heard that too. Yeah, heard that too. Hey, good stuff, Patrick.
Well, I appreciate y'all's time.
Thanks, Patrick.
Yeah, man. Look at all the calls in the middle of the night. What do you people do?
That actually is not a good idea. Don't get me wrong. I say go for it, but it's
drunk calls are the best.
Yeah.
Andrew, ask Richard Dixon. The best shows we've ever done together were late night election night shows when people are hammered.
Election night and snow days.
Much more entertaining.
No.
Than
It was
dry callers we get.
1:30 in the morning when we were still waiting for Hillary to concede.
Yeah.
And just the drunk people started calling out.
Beautiful.
I
We
need to.
ran a promo.
I
we
do.
ran a promo from that lasted for. I mean, we ran this promo for 3 years. It's one where this guy goes, "This is United States of America," and I said, "America." Richard said, "America."
America.
And then he said, "Yeah." Or something. It was just a promo. It was a total drunk caller.
I do have to point out that John Bird has, in a tribute to Donald Trump, all night during the podcast, has had his ear bandaged up. So everybody that has watched has seen his
Solidarity.
his bandage. So
Did you get the right ear or the left ear? 'Cause
it's definitely the wrong
It's
ear.
the wrong ear, but on the camera it looks like the right one.
Yeah, right is right and left is wrong. That's what you get.
That's
see.
true.
Oh, okay,
That's
you're
true.
right.
Yeah,
He's on the left ear.
yeah,
You know what that means.
yeah. You know
That's
what
why guys are calling in talking about good he looks.
Those were the days,
When he
man.
drinks Bud Light now. Let's go to Dog Mom. Dog Mom is up next. What's up, Dog Mom?
Hey, Leland. Hey, Andrew. I love you all. I listen to both your shows every day. I was just watching the convention, and Donald Trump and this whole convention for 4 days has just ignited something in my soul that gives me positivity as a small business owner who struggles daily to pay my bills. And I'll be honest with you, I finally have faith in what is coming. And I just wanted to talk about the Democratic Party, the convention, and what's coming with them. Joe Biden's stepping down. He's not endorsing Kamala Harris. I have a feeling since Joe Manchin has decided not to run again, he's going to run as an independent or Democrat on the Democratic ticket.
Well, look,
I don't know if
whatever. Here's just a quick guess. If it goes to a floor fight, then you're gonna have different factions, and they're gonna fight with each other. And when that's over, they're not gonna instantly. There'll be some bitterness, and they're not just gonna heal. I think there could be backlash to not giving Kamala a free shot at it without a convention fight.
Well, no.
They're gonna feel some her supporters are gonna feel burned. And I don't think they're suddenly just going to vote for Trump, but they might stay home. And if they do that,
could you see Joe Manchin running on that Democratic ticket, though?
I don't know. I just don't know. I think West Virginia has gone away from him and that party, and I think he would be foolish to go down that road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I love y'all's shows. I've enjoyed listening to y'all since 99.5 started to air. Like, y'all are amazing. Absolutely love listening to y'all. And I love you all doing these late night after campaigns, elections. Like, it's amazing. I actually called in 2016 pretty drunk.
There we go.
Well, thanks for keeping up the tradition, Dog Mom. That's we're counting on listeners just like you.
All right. Well, I'll be listening tomorrow because I want to hear what's going on. Y'all have a great night. Be safe.
Thank you.
See, NPR begs you for your money, okay? The public broadcasters will go, tonight's broadcast brought to you by the Ford Foundation, George Soros, and listeners
Right.
like you. And what we say is, all we ask you to do is get drunk and call us.
Yeah, that's it.
right.
That's all we want. That's all we
We
want.
take care of the finances, and that's it. I mean, that's our model.
Like, it's going to take a drunk person to call in and say, hey, what about what's going to happen when Joe Manchin beats Donald Trump? Which, hey, listen, I get that actually because Joe Manchin is somewhat of a moderate, but I think you're right, Leland. Like, he's burned his own people in West Virginia. There's no way he's going to be able to connect with, middle America on that front. I mean, I can't imagine that you've got somebody that doesn't have name recognition that's going to be able to build it up in time to beat Trump.
You cannot do it. There's not enough money to do it. The ramp is too short. There's an on-ramp on this highway, and that one's too short. In 2024, the only thing that's in the middle of the road is a dead possum. So just know that middle of the road's not going to cut it. People are dug in. It's time for the fight. Let's get it on. Let's do it. Wallace is in Vestavia. What's up, Wallace?
Good evening, late evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Doing
Good.
well.
All right.
I wanted to mention the staging of this. I mean, the message of unity and the peace and love type thing, which was true. I mean, they're not contentious and everything. That was a major part of the convention. But whoever was behind the staging of it itself for television was absolutely amazing. To me, it was the script that they wrote. I mean, of the people coming out to talk about it, from Franklin Graham to Hulk Hogan, then Kid Rock, and then the UFC guy, a UFC guy. I mean, the way that they did that, building up to it, was really, really well done as an entertainment, to grab people's eyes and keep them focused on the convention. And then the epitome of it, if you were able to watch it on whatever you were watching, when Trump came out after he was nominated, after the introduction, and he comes out, and all those screens go completely white, and then the letters spell out Trump behind him, reminded me of the famous Elvis 1968 concert and all. And then the video screens behind them transform into a White House facade. I mean, the whole staging of this was so well done. It was just unbelievable. And I'm thinking that it is going to take the Democrats to have Hollywood elite help them do a better job of staging their convention than it was done here for the Republicans.
Yeah, look, there are professional organizations that they'll work for the next 3 years on the next convention. There are people that are, believe it or not, experts on set design and decor, and the Republicans hired some good folks. I agree with you. The presentation was good, and the Democrats will put on a show. They always put on a show, and it'll probably have some weird elements to it too. But right now, they don't even have a candidate, and if it's going to be harder to present a TV production for 4 nights in a row when you still don't know who your candidate is, when you're having floor fights. Because think about it, if they're going to spend a day or two having different rounds of voting, then what do you build? What do you build your theme around? Because you don't even know who your candidate is. If it's Monday or Tuesday before they know who their candidate is, they got Thursday and Friday to build some rah-rah. And maybe they can do that generically or just get up there and scream about abortion, but I don't know.
The sad thing about that is that you're absolutely right in that if they try to do some backroom deals to where, well, we're going to do this and we're going to do that and everybody's going to fall in line, that's going to create problems with the delegates on the floor. Exactly what you just said, the fighting that'll be going on, that there will be people that will not fall in line and say, you can't make this decision for us. That's going to be the last time something like this happened was in 1968.
68, and that was a chaos. And think about it, they've got the free Palestine idiots to deal with too, and there's no way for them. They can get into that convention so easily with the right credentials. They all look like a freak show anyway, so they're going to mix right in with that crowd. And before you know,
remember 1968 was in Chicago also.
Exactly. Deja vu all over again. Good stuff.
Good job, guys. Enjoyed listening to you.
All right, let's get Larry from South Texas. We'll take 2 or 3 more calls and see if y'all want to keep going with it. And then we're all going to get a little beauty rest and get back up and hit this thing again tomorrow.
John Bird doesn't need any beauty rest, by the way. Well, he's already incredibly sexy.
Earlier in the show.
Thank you.
Larry in South Texas. What's up, Larry?
Well, you know what I want to see tonight? I want to see, after seeing the Hulk out there ripping off his shirt, I want to see Trump ripping off that bandage and saying, brother, I got you now. I'm here for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're just going to take it off. So, appreciate you guys.
He should do it just to tell the bedwetters. He should just show him his wound. He should just show it.
I got to be honest, and we mentioned this earlier as well, like, I am curious as to what it looks like.
I saw a slowed down video from that side, and it purports to show the bullet's going to fly through so fast, even in slow motion. But you can see his ears change shape. You don't see blood come out right away because he moves out of the screen, but you see his ear, and then you see almost like a little piece of it that got grazed right off the end of his ear. It's just amazing how close that was. It's the difference in life and death that happens every day in downtown Birmingham.
Right.
People get shot at all the time and get missed, and that one was that close. Did we do Larry? Did we go to Larry yet? Yeah, that was Larry. Rick in McCalla. What's up, Rick?
8, I guess.
He said, hey, I guess.
I guess what I wanted to say, this feels more like a movement than it does an election.
Yep.
It very much is. Yeah, I think it is. He's the head of a movement. He's not even the nominee of a party right now. It's bigger than that.
That's a lot bigger, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I forgot who I heard say that. I think it was Newt said that about a year ago. He's the head of an actual movement. And it's not a scary movement. It's a renewal. In the church, we'd call it a revival.
Yeah, it's getting us back to our founding. Everybody knows their roots.
Yep.
This nation wasn't founded on all this nonsense this Democratic Party's come up with.
You got that right, Coach.
They're insane.
All right, Rick.
I appreciate everything y'all do, man.
Thanks,
Y'all
Rick.
keep us in touch and keep us real.
Yeah, man.
Hats off to all you guys.
All right, Lewis wants to get back at me. He's still hammered, and he's still Lewis, what's up?
No, I'm a little hammered.
I know you're hammered, Rick. What are we drinking tonight, Louis?
A little bourbon.
Okay, I'm with you, man.
There you go.
But-
I ain't gonna hate. Yeah, there you go.
But hey, man, I listen to you and Andrew every day. So I don't understand why you're saying the speech was too long.
It was just too long. I mean, that's not a harsh criticism. It was almost 2 hours long. It was an hour and 30 something minutes long. That's too long. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, because here's why. If he gets done early, all the analysis, all the accolades, the fanfare online, people have a chance to see that. Now everybody's falling asleep and gone to bed. There's a window there that got missed because he just kept going. And I mean, you ain't got to kiss Trump's ass all the time. I mean, I've been a fervent supporter since 2015, well before most people I know, and I still support the man. I'd walk through fire for him, but the speech was too damn long.
But anyway, I just want to say I listen to you and Andrew every day, and I appreciate you guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, what kind of bourbon are we drinking, Lewis?
Evan Williams.
I knew it.
Everybody's got their own. All right, Lewis, we'll talk to you later, man.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
Y'all want to do any more calls?
Hey, if you got one more, we can do one more. I just want to give a shout out to the audience who are just real troopers, being on this late, still calling the show at almost midnight. I mean, those are some real ones.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, look, our audience is passionate to be up this late and to want to even tune in to hear what we've got to say, knowing we're going to be talking about it tomorrow. And, of course, Dixon and Vining. In between recipes, we'll be talking about it starting at 6. Danny's in Bessemer. What's up, Danny?
Hello.
Danny. What's up, Danny?
Danny.
Oh, okay. Hey, you gotta excuse me too. I'm a little bit hammered.
All right.
Left out. I feel completely left out.
Hey, there's two things I want to mention. Is I hate to upset your stomach, but we still got the Hill the Beast in the mix. And I hate to mess everybody's stomach up on that, but hey, I am gonna mention I was listening to I was watching on PBS. I was watching for it, and what they were doing. The people on PBS, they had their little group up there, and it sounded like every one of them was on the liberal side. Hey, but the Hill the Beast, I mean, they're right there. That kind of worries me.
I think she wants it.
Hey,
I really do.
I've
I've heard she had a facelift. The other day, somebody said she's gone out and got a makeover and a facelift, getting ready for this whole thing. I saw a picture of her. She looks like Matt Gaetz now.
That's not good.
Rat face.
Yep. Did y'all see Matt Gaetz' face? What kind of grown-ass man gets that much Botox? Come on, man.
It's a little
I like
sus.
it when he went after Kevin McCarthy, but come on, dude. You don't need the cosmetics.
Yeah, I love Matt Gaetz, but that face is a little sus.
Yeah, a little vanity project there. All right, what we got next? Darren is in Brookside. What's up, Darren?
Yes, I just have one question. First time caller, leave you alone, and all I have to ask is, how do we address the machines that stole the election to begin with?
Well, there was a fantastic ruling in Arizona today. The Ninth Circuit ruled that Arizona could check for citizenship or not count ballots of people that were determined not to be citizens. That heads off a big operation I believe they're using to get non-Americans to vote in this election. There have been some other initiatives that have tightened things up. Right now, as the polls stand, they don't even, despite the machine they put on in 2020, as demoralized as they are and lack of funding that they have right now because their donor class is pissed off, they won't be able to catch. In other words, Trump's spread is so big now, I don't think they can cheat enough to catch it. Now, all that could change in 100 days, but right now he is out voting the cheating, their capability to cheat in this moment.
Okay, thank you for your information. I just wanted to see if we are ahead of this situation. So thank y'all.
Leland, you got to give props to Laura Trump and what they've done with the RNC on this front as far as getting out the initiative to combat some of the stuff that we lost to last time.
Yeah.
Ronna McDaniel wasn't doing it. You've got actual people that care putting those resources forward to fight against, what cost us last time.
Well, more than the party, it is it's been these interest groups that are going out filing lawsuits, digging through the data to find the fake names on these ballots to turn over evidence in Georgia. Those folks continued to press despite all the names they were calling. They've done good work. I think it was one of those groups that won this. Harmeet Dillon, who could have been elected chair of the RNC and would have done a good job. She's the one that put the statement out. She was part of the legal team that fought and won that Arizona case today in the Ninth Circuit. All right, we got another call. We'll keep it cool more. Eric in Birmingham. What's up, Eric?
Hey, Leland. I just wanted to see if I heard you correctly. Did you say a moment ago that you had been a feverishly supporter of Trump since 2015, the whole time?
Yeah, the first time I got behind, I understood what Trump was about and started telling people he was going to win was when I went to his rally. It was the second rally that he did in the whole country down in Mobile. I was the only show down there going live. I had to break into the stadium. They didn't even know I was there. I just found the press box and set up and did a show. And I kept telling people, everybody said I was crazy. I used to get in verbal arguments with Ted Cruz fans way back then because he was supposed to be the conservative in the race. But I kept saying Trump's going to win this thing. Trump's there's something going on with him. There was an electricity in that stadium I hadn't experienced outside of a sporting event. I was down under the stadium with him when he met the VIPs, and I was reporting that in real time in Mobile in August of 2015.
No, I'm with you there. I agree with you, and you've always said he would win when he did win. But there was a time, at least I thought in the early 22s, that you were no longer supporting him, even though you thought he was the most popular candidate.
No, you've never heard me not support him. I'll be honest with you, I got some Trump fatigue, and I was open to DeSantis even last year. I wasn't sure Trump really even wanted to run. But I'll tell you, when I went back full tilt boogie, and that's when they raided his house. They do that, and it's over. I couldn't even consider another candidate. So, but I try to be as open-minded as I can. It's not a cult. He's not God. But the man, what he's been through is, he's now earned the respect of a lot of his haters. There's just.
I know you said it was too long, and I agree because I had to watch the whole thing, and I kept having to take my dog out, but I couldn't because I was watching Trump. But wouldn't you say that was a really great speech?
I think the beginning was, and there were definitely moments that are some of the more memorable moments I will ever remember in a convention. I mean, they were so genuine. The firefighter uniform and Trump's attitude and retelling the story about how he got shot. We'll never hear that. I hope we never hear another presidential candidate talk about getting shot. And he said he wasn't going to talk about it again. That was huge. I mean, the minute he said it, you could hear it. And when he called for that moment of silence, quietest convention moment I've ever heard. You couldn't hear a pin drop.
It was definitely silent.
But about 45 minutes in, I was just like, come on, man, you've won this. You won the night. Big finish, and let's let all the, let's take the win. And I just thought he kept going a little bit too long. I mean, it's not a major criticism, but it's a criticism. I don't mind criticizing Trump.
No, I agree. He did sometimes. Okay, I just wanted to put my 2 cents in because I thought I'd heard you for a little while there not be on the Trump parade.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good.
2020. Yeah, I'm in the boat parade. I got 15 Trump flags. I'm hardcore. But there were moments when I was getting a little burnout on him myself. I wasn't sure what he was going to do next. I knew he got robbed, and we've talked about that for years in the 2020 race. But again, when they turned the deep state on him like that, they broke barriers with a lot of people that have made them even more fervent supporters. They drove people to Trump.
Especially since it was so obvious. It wasn't like a deep state whatever state move that was under the ground. It was very obvious, very open to the public, and everybody could see it.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right,
buddy.
man. Yeah, talk to you
Yeah,
tomorrow.
they took people that had Trump fatigue and brought them back onto the Trump train because everybody could see how obvious the railroad job was. And hey, all that matters at the end of the day, no matter who was where, what time, we're all on the same team at this point.
Dude, I had a Ted Cruz kid. He was from somewhere up in Florence or whatever. And Matt Murphy can tell you this story, too. He came all the way to Birmingham, wanted to whoop my ass. Cause I didn't like it. This kid gets out of his car. He's like, where's the studio? He comes in. And I was like, get your... He didn't even know who I was. I met him in the lobby. Somebody said, there's somebody here to see you. So I came out, and he goes, I'm looking for Leland Live. I was like, well, I can take you to him. He goes, well, take me to him. I was like, come on. And he walked into... I said, here's the studio, and I showed him around. I said, look, I'm Leland. What do you want to talk about? And he goes, man, there's no way. You can't support Trump. Ted Cruz is the... And I said, just sit down. And I talked to that kid for like 2 hours and talked him off the cliff. He was just young and naive and caught up in his emotions. And but, yeah, Trump was not automatically embraced by any of the hardcore. They were sort of the litmus test, ideological conservatives that thought you had to be a certain type person to get their support. Now they've learned their lesson. This man has rewritten the rules. You know, I think he broke CNN, he broke the mainstream media, he disrupted social media, he beat their lawfare, and he broke the Republican Party. Did you see Mitt Romney? Did you see any McCain's? Where was Liz Cheney? These bastards are gone. It's his party now.
Yep.
And he's handing that off to our boy JD. And it's a different type person, and it gives me hope that I could support the Republicans again because they might actually stand for something.
Well, and just to add on that story, and you may know this, the station that you found me at, my very first station out in Anniston, I started off as a sports guy for several months, and then I moved to a morning show with another guy, and that's when Trump first came on the scene. And I was such a Trump guy, my co-host quit. And just completely dropped off and said, I'm not doing this anymore. And I took over the morning show myself. And that was about the point where you found me and you're like, hey, man, will you fill in for me? And obviously the rest is history. Everybody knows that story. But, you know, it's just one of those things, man. Some people couldn't handle it. But again, it's all about where we are today. And we know where we need to be.
There's been a transition. And by the way, let me ask you this, Andrew. This is a personal question. When you saw Hulk Hogan rip that shirt off, did the Captain Charisma come out of you?
Almost. But actually, as a matter of fact, if you go back and watch the tape, John Burt started to beat me to it and started ripping off his own shirt.
Dadgummit.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I'm looking at the clock right now. We have been broadcasting for 4 hours and 45 minutes, and it has been a wild ride. Emotional roller coaster, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to do one more drunk call?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Jimmy the Greek. I hope he's drunk.
Hope he's wasted.
Go to Jesse.
Oh, I'm saying, Jesse is a drunk chick.
Jesse,
Even
yes.
better. What's up, drunk
Go to
chick?
Jesse.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, I don't even
Jump
know
hard.
what my original question was, but no, honestly, my question for you right now, Leland, when I'm
My butthole is so tight right now. I'm so afraid of what this is going to say. It's too late for, like, I feel like I'm in a car with something. And she's in the back seat just talking.
We're in a self-driving Tesla right now, and
I
we're
was like,
broken.
y'all have a couple of Crystal Burgers, and what do you want, Jesse?
because somebody could bring me a crystal burger, but
See,
no.
it's that time of day. It's exactly what's going on right now.
All right. So if I'm trying to convince someone to come to our side or to vote my way, what's your best advice? And this is not what my original call was, but this is where we're at right now. what would you? What's the most effective tool? What do you think?
Getting them drunk and trying to
Yeah, that would work, actually. That would be a good idea.
Good friendship. Yeah, just get them hammered.
Honey, we're already there.
Yep, and wait till they're too hammered to drive, and then say, "Look, I'll give you a ride home, but you got to vote for Trump." They'll go, "Okay, I'll do it," and then that's how you get them every time. It works every time.
Oh,
No, Jesse,
damn,
look, that's a sincere question, which we could probably take up on a time when we had a little more time. I'm not saying I'm the best at it, but it depends on who the person is. It depends on who you're dealing with. Some people you can reason with, and some people are just emotional. You got to get them off their emotional roller coaster before they'll even open up. But I would. My other thing is do it with kindness, because we are so quick to vilify people because they disagree with us nowadays. Nobody's listening. And I grew up in a world where, man, I was around some classic old school liberals, but we got along. I mean, we still had some things in common, and try to find that first. Get them to agree to those things you have in common, and then bring them along. And take your time with it. It's not going to happen in one conversation, probably.
I'm at a difficult age, or not so difficult. 40.
I think your phone's
But
yes.
No, I don't think it is.
Hey, Jesse, look, I appreciate your call tonight.
Yes,
look,
Jesse,
I'm
thank
old,
you.
And I'm going to bed now.
And Jesse, you need to go to bed too.
You should see the chat about Jesse's girl.
Jesse, night. You need some milk or anything? Can we help you
Oh,
out?
I hung
there?
up when he said good night, Jesse.
There are a lot of Jesse's girl references in our chat, by the way.
It's quite heavy.
Now, look, I'm thinking I may just quit my show and start a new midnight show where we just talk to drunk people.
That's a good idea.
That'd be
I'm just
fun.
saying.
Yeah.
Who was that dude that was coast to coast that would do like the
Art
weird?
Bell?
Yes,
Yeah.
the
He did
aliens
the UFOs
and, yes.
he did the UFOs and the conspiracy, the Bigfoot people and all that. But nowadays the news is more crazy than that.
Yes, it
So
is.
the only way you can replace it is personal relationship advice to drunk people.
Speaking of relationships, I need to give a shout out to my Uber driver who's sitting out in the driveway waiting to pick me up. It's my wife. Thank you, Trish.
Okay.
Thank you, Trish.
For picking me up.
Thanks, Trish.
Hey Trish, thanks Trish. Don't take him to Crystal.
Don't take me to Crystal's, please. I'm going to regret
Don't
that.
introduce him to
morning.
Jesse.
Man, we're still getting calls. I don't want to do it. Are we
No, we gotta go. Come on, guys. You are going to keep us up all night.
Yeah,
We can do
gotta
one.
Go to Jimmy the Greek.
Okay, okay.
David made me skip him for Jesse's call.
go ahead.
Jimmy, what's up, bud?
Hey, I had to catch up and get some Jim Beam in me before I called.
It's good to pregame. Yeah, good for you.
I got to tell you, Trump did go a little too long. Last night, J.D. Vance did a really good job. I thought. I mean, I love what Trump did. He got a lot of good stuff out there. Only thing that I could see from the audience is he kept talking about things that were tragic, you know, and like these women who were killed, a 12-year-old who was killed. And it kind of, you know, drew down the upbeat feeling a little bit when he did some of that stuff. Plus, he did drag on here and there. But, I mean, I'm impressed with the whole convention. They did a great job, and I do agree that it's more of a movement than just a convention. And let's bring back the tax cuts, and let's bring back the economic growth and choke off the foreigners and get the movie back where it was, rerun time.
Hallelujah.
I had a good time. Oh, let me say one other thing. John Bird knocked it out of the park when he did the national anthem.
Yeah.
When y'all had your job on jam, and that was one thing that was missing tonight, having John Bird do the national anthem.
Well, we
Remember how
actually
everybody
we started the podcast with John Bird playing "God Bless the USA," which was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, it was great.
We'll replay that tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, and I do love the show you do too, Andrew. You know, when you talk about what kind of animals people got in their pants and all four.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you know, we have a very serious show, middle of the day.
All right.
Anyway, love both shows, guys. Y'all
Thank you,
have a
Jimmy.
great night.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here's the thing: like they compliment Leland on his pontificating on politics and being so smart and so experienced in life, and me, it's like, hey, thanks for talking about animals in people's pants.
Well, you know what? It's because it's what we do. Like, I don't know how to cook, so I couldn't do Richard Dixon's show. I don't do food, and I don't. I quit telling fart jokes after my kids got to be in their 30s. Actually, I haven't, but
No, you haven't. I was gonna say
when you came along, Andrew, I was like, I don't have to do that anymore. I've got a more capable host who's more talented at. I love y'all segments like where you'll close at. And so keep doing your thing, Andrew, and keep. Trump said it tonight. You just got to keep going.
Yep.
Keep on keeping on.
What your haters say. Speaking of which, it's official. I was just scrolling some of the headlines about the speech. Trump's speech was 92 minutes long. It was an hour and 32 minutes.
Good Lord.
And it's officially the longest nomination speech in United States history.
Wow.
Lots of records.
Wow.
It was longer. Clinton was famous. Bill Clinton, before he was nominated for the presidency, was invited to give a speech in, I guess that would have been 88 at the Democrat convention. And it was so long. He was so, trying to have his moment that when he got toward the end, he goes, "In conclusion." And the whole crowd stood up and applauded that he said "in conclusion." It was considered a flop because it was so long. And he learned to tighten it up, and of course, he wound up being their nominee in '92. But yeah, this was the longest speech in history.
Yeah, good stuff, man. I can't say enough about how proud I am that this guy is our nominee. It's we're never gonna have another Donald Trump, so I think we need to revel in it while he's here.
He's a
because
gem.
It's a once in a lifetime deal.
Well, y'all tune in tomorrow as all of us will be cranked up. Of course, Richard and Val will be up first. 6 a.m. They're sound asleep right now, we hope.
Otherwise, we might be in trouble.
They'll be getting out of bed in 3 hours to get up and come to work. So that's just how the shifts work. And then we'll all see you through the midday and the afternoons. Full final Friday of coverage. And without a doubt, there'll be breaking news all day tomorrow. There's too much hanging in the balance as we turn it in tonight. Fellas, thanks for spending the time with us and letting me be on your podcast.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Anytime, Leland.
We're gonna have you in studio soon.
Yeah, we'll do that.
All right, cuz.
Are you going to have a handsome off between Leland and Bird?
Absolutely.
Won't be much of a handsome off.
It's gonna be a beauty pageant.
Yeah.
Leland is so handsome. I'm ugly as crap. Come on, man.
No, dude, I look like a shrimp boat captain nowadays that's on the run from the law. So that's my new look.
All right, Leland. Thanks, buddy.
See y'all mañana.
All right. We're
See you,
out.
cuz.